love away. Valentine's Day. So today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Sending love from my heart to yours. I remember when I was in elementary school, my mom would purchase packages of Valentine's cards. And there were usually about 40 or 50 in each pack. And my brother and I would send Valentine's cards to everyone in our class. And I don't remember how many we got in return. I just remember I loved writing them and putting them on everybody's little desk. And in those days, the classes averaged between 50 and 55 kids. So there were a lot of Valentines. But Valentine's Day was always about the other person. It was about showing someone you cared by sending cards, giving gifts. It was about expressing love to someone else, someone outside of us. And we know commercially, Valentine's Day is centered mainly around romantic love. And there's nothing wrong with that. Romantic love is wonderful. But what if you're not in a romantic relationship or you don't have a significant other? Does that mean that you can't celebrate Valentine's Day? So today I'm going to offer a little slant on Valentine's Day. Instead of focusing on what's outside of you, I'm going to invite you to focus on you, that you be your own Valentine. And yes, some of us are hopeless romantics, and that's fine. But today we're going to focus on self-love. So what is love? The dictionary says and describes it as a profound, tender, passionate affection for another person. A feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection as a parent for a child or a friend. A person whom love is felt. A beloved person. Now we see beloved in scripture all the time, the word beloved. And that's how we're described. We are described as God's beloved. Now, in Matthew 19:19, Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. In Luke 6:31, he says, do unto others as you would have them done unto you. The thing is, how can we love our neighbor as ourselves or do unto others if we don't love ourselves? What we do know is that we cannot truly love another until we truly love ourselves. Otherwise, we're just projecting onto another person what it is we want. And unconsciously, we assign them with the project of making us feel loved. And that's a heavy burden to put on anyone. If something outside of us makes us feel loved, it's only temporary, because sustaining love comes from within. So I ask you, do you love yourself? I mean, really love yourself. Sometimes we look back on our evolutionary journey and we find or have memories of some not so wonderful things about ourselves. We look within for honesty and clarity and see things in our human self that may not be so pretty. Maybe we did some things that were not nice. Maybe we were told things that weren't true, but we believed them because we didn't understand or we didn't know any better. Sometimes we see what we dislike in others and come to the realization that those same things are true about us too. Now, we all know how prejudices and biases against others affect them and how they hurt. But what about those that we inflict on ourselves? All of that is part of being human. Our egos get the better of us and we react without thinking, sometimes harming someone else, and most of the time harming ourselves without even realizing. The truth is, whatever we do to another, we do to ourselves. So before we can fully and truly love someone else, we have to fully and truly love ourselves. Loving ourselves is crucial. It's a crucial step in being able to connect that to all that is. The author Jan Phillips says, if things are to change, It will be because we have dared to be our true selves. If every one of us woke up one morning and announced ourselves to the world, the planet would tremble with the force of that courage. Yes, we may be risking our lives, our families, our friends, our jobs, but what is served by our silence? How can we bear this absence of intimacy? How will we ever change if we do not change them? All things start from within, and it takes courage to speak up and be our true, authentic self. The author, C. Joy Bell C. said, "For the rest of my life, I am going to be with me, and it's high time that I accept all the great things about me." I'm going to say that again. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be with me, and it's high time that I accept all the great things about me. Isn't it high time that we accept all the great things about ourselves? We all have great things about us. We have to acknowledge them, feel them, and allow ourselves to be them. It's time to give up the idea of what we think we're supposed to be and start loving who we really are, all of us, warts and all. In one of her books, Marianne Williamson spoke about our fear of success. The truth is, it's not about fear of failure. It's about being afraid of who we truly are. Being afraid to own that magnificence of who we are. One of my favorite authors, Mark Nepo, in his book, The Book of Awakening, Having the Life You Want by Being Present to the Life You Have, wrote, we waste so much energy trying to cover up who we are when beneath every attitude is the want to be loved, and beneath every anger is a wound to be healed, and beneath every sadness is the fear that there will not be enough time. When we hesitate in being direct, we unknowingly slip something on, some added layer of protection that keeps us from feeling the world. And often that thin covering is the beginning of a loneliness, which, if not put down, diminishes our chances of joy. It's like wearing gloves every time we touch something, and then, forgetting we chose to put those gloves on, we complain that nothing feels quite real. Our challenge each day is not to get dressed to face the world, but to unglove ourselves so that the doorknob feels cold and the car handle feels wet. To unglove ourselves, to remove our armor, to allow ourselves to be exactly who we are, and to love that. So this is how we start to learn to love ourselves. We stop trying to be what others want us to be. We let go of any falseness about ourselves, and we dare to be who we truly are. This may turn some people off. You know, how dare you not be what I want you to be? How dare you not be the way I want you to be? But the author Steve Atkinson says, if you have the courage to be honest with everyone, including yourself, you may hurt a few people's feelings, but they will forever value your opinion more than your half-truths. You know, when a couple gets married, they make a commitment to love one another. So how about making a commitment to love yourself? Before we can commit to someone else and enter into a really healthy relationship, we must commit to love ourselves and allow ourselves to be the expression of God that we truly are. Each of us as individuals, but part of the larger whole, the one, the divine universe. We are told in the book of Genesis that we are made in the image and likeness of the divine. Yet we question, even deny that very truth. Yet the paradox is we have this inner drive to recognize and connect with that oneness. Yet we deny it. We deny it all the time. We have no problems telling or showing someone else how wonderful they are and how much we love them. But can we have that same enthusiasm for ourselves? To love someone is to see all of their magic and to remind them of it when they forget. We can do that for ourselves too. Again, the author Steve Atkinson says, the amount of love you receive is directly proportional to how much you love yourself. I'm going to say that again because it's important. The amount of love you receive is directly proportional to how much you love yourself. Loving and caring for ourselves is our divine responsibility. Renowned author and Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh says, enlightenment, joy, and peace can never be given to you by another. The well is inside of you. So if that well is inside of us, how do we learn to tap into it? How do we learn to love? If you believe that you are love because you are divine, made in the image and likeness of the divine, and God is love, there's nothing to learn. You're already it. You just have to be it. You know, love is a verb, it's an action word. The action reflects the feeling we're expressing. So if we express this to others, why can't we express it to ourselves? So how can we be loving to ourselves? You know, we take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. We love ourselves by taking care of our bodies, our body temples, because within these temples lies our divinity, our spirit, our oneness. So we eat healthy foods, move our bodies, and be sure to get adequate sleep. Emotionally, don't deny anything that you're feeling. Allow it to come up to be released. There's the saying, the only way to it is through it. Meaning the only way to move beyond the pain is to allow ourselves to feel it so we can move through it. And by moving through it, we move to peace. We love ourselves mentally by seeking clarification and knowledge. Just because you see something in print, in a headline, posted online, or hear it on TV or the radio, doesn't mean it's correct. Check the source. Read reputable publications and get your news from several sources, not just one. Unfortunately, these days, what's published, posted, or spoken about on TV or radio is geared to a particular audience. That is, they slant it towards what their audience wants to hear. So be very careful of what you hear and check your sources. Know that it's coming from a reputable organization or reputable media. And loving ourselves spiritually is by taking time for prayer and meditation, not just once, but several times a day. Even if it's only a minute, take time to stop, breathe, and just be. This is so important because we get so wrapped up by what's going on out there that we forget who we truly are. We forget to go in here. Be yourself, your true self. Be in integrity with the you that is the expression of God. Remember, self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Knowing how to soothe yourself, fill yourself back up when you get depleted. Knowing how to calm yourself and get yourself back in balance. Those are the things that need to be done regularly, and they are all ways of loving and respecting yourself. And listen to your instincts. That's spirit communicating with you. Now, who remembers Jim Morrison? Yep, Jim Morrison of the Doors. Well, he said, The most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. You trade in your reality for a role. You trade in your sense for an act. You give up your ability to feel and in exchange, put on a mask. There can't be any large-scale revolution until there's a personal revolution on an individual level. It's got to happen inside first. Remember, what we manifest on the outside of us is directly related to what we are thinking, doing, or feeling inside. So any changes have to happen inside first before we can see them outside. My first metaphysical teacher used to say, if you want to know how you're doing on the inside, look at what you're manifesting on the outside. Another thing is, don't worry about what others think of you. You may have heard this before, but there's a wonderful saying, what someone else thinks about me is none of my business. That's because whatever someone else is thinking about them is about, whatever someone else is thinking is about them, not you. It's within them, and they're projecting it onto you. But ultimately, it's about them. And the same is true for us. Whatever we're thinking about another is within us, whether it's positive or negative. We're constantly projecting onto other people. When we withdraw that projection and make it okay for us to be exactly who we are, we'll stop the projection. We'll own whatever's going on inside of us. And we'll see that the healing has to come from within before we can see it outside. I found a wonderful anonymous quote. It says, when you truly don't care what someone else thinks of you, you have reached a dangerously awesome level of freedom. True joy comes from being our authentic selves, because that is the self that is in line with spirit. True joy comes with being content with who you are and what you have. Gratitude starts by knowing that we are blessed right now and knowing that God only wants good for us. You know, make no mistake, the journey to discover ourselves, to discover our own true self-love can be bumpy at times, but the rewards are so worthwhile. What matters most is how you see yourself. Perception is everything. Do you see yourself as a beloved child of God? Or do you see yourself as a victim of the ego? The choice is ours. The author Michael Cunningham says, we are here to be transformed, and to be transformed again and again and again. And transformation comes with the courage to go within, to see ourselves, to be honest, truthful about ourselves, and then allow spirit to help us change whatever needs to be changed. Transformation is ours always. The Gospel of Thomas 70:10 said, if you bring forth what is within you, what you have will save you. It's all within. We just need to uncover it, to bring it forth layer by layer. Uncover the real you, the Christ within, the Buddha presence. You know, Valentine's Day may be celebrated once a year on February 14th. But when we truly love and appreciate ourselves, we can have Valentine's Day every day, not only within, but without. For what we have within, we emit out towards others. Let what you emit be the love that is you. And now I'd like to share a video that Unity Worldwide created for Valentine's Day. Was that it? Wrong video. I will try again. Where did it go? Okay, one more time. Okay.
Divine peace flows in my mind and my heart. Every thought in my mind is informed by the unifying power of love. Every feeling in my heart is tempered by love. Therefore, I am peaceful. I am filled with divine peace as it flows in and through my mind and heart. By the power of divine love, I am a unifying presence. Awakened in divine love, I am a blessing. Divine love is stirring within, an awakening to my heart and mind. I am willing to be a unifying presence that blesses and encourages others. Fully in love, I am willing to be a blessing in the world. Awakened in love, spiritually strong and full of wisdom, I consciously live today as the love of God.
If I can get back. Okay. All right. So I'm going to invite you now all to just close your eyes and move within as we close our eyes and move into meditation. So just allow yourselves to breathe, and with each breath you take, you become more and more relaxed. Our awareness of that divine love, that divine presence within us grows stronger and stronger. So much so that all we know, all we feel is the love that we are. Divine peace flows in my heart and in my mind. Every thought in my mind is informed by the unifying power of love. Every feeling in my heart is tempered by love. And I am at peace. I am filled with divine peace as it flows in and through my mind and heart. By the power of divine love, I am a unifying presence. I am divine love. And as I awaken in divine love, I know that I am a blessing. Divine love within me is constant, and it is in my mind and in my heart. I am the unifying presence of love. I am the unifying presence of love that blesses and encourages others. I am the unifying presence of love. Therefore, I am a blessing to the world. I am love, and I live love, for that is who I am. Now I invite you to go deeper and deeper into the silence and just listen. Now I invite you to bring to mind anyone who may be in need of prayer. We pray for everyone on our unity prayer list on Silent Unity, all those in our heart and mind that may need prayer. And since tomorrow is President's Day, we send thanks and prayers and gratitude to all of the presidents, from George Washington to our current president and all our future presidents. We hold them in the light and know that they are guided by divinity within them. So we extend the love that we have within us, we extend it to all living things, since we are one family, one spirit. And now I invite you to bring your consciousness back into your room, back into your body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. And it's this time in our service where we have the opportunity to give. So